The massive Vizari warship emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, its crystalline hull refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. Supreme Commander Nexar stood on the bridge of the eternal dawn, mandibles clicking with anticipation as she studied the blue planet through the ship's quantum imaging array. "Analysis of the target world?" she asked, her telepathic voice resonating through the bridge crew's minds. "Primitive civilization," Commander reported First Scholar Zix. "They've barely reached their own moon. No signs of quantum technology or dimensional engineering. Standard conquest protocols should suffice." Nexar's compound eyes narrowed. The Vizari Empire had subjugated thousands of worlds over the millennia, incorporating their resources and people into their vast collective. This Earth would be no different. "Begin standard approach," she commanded. "Broadcast the usual ultimatum." As the eternal dawn led the invasion fleet toward Earth, humanity's response caught them completely off guard. Instead of panic or hasty surrender, Earth's unified defense forces activated their carefully hidden technological marvels. Deep beneath the Himalayas, Dr. Sarah Chen rushed through the gleaming corridors of Project Aegis, Earth's most advanced research facility. "General Williams, they've crossed the lunar orbit," she reported, reaching the command center where United Earth Defense Force leaders had gathered. General Marcus Williams nodded grimly. "They think we're helpless primitives. Time to show them otherwise." "Dr. Chen, activate the quantum shield." Sarah's fingers flew across the holographic interface. Around the planet, thousands of quantum resonators hidden in orbit sprang to life, generating an invisible barrier of interwoven spacetime. The Vizari fleet slammed into it at full speed, their ships bouncing off like raindrops on glass. On the Eternal Dawn's bridge, alarms blared. "Impossible," Nexar hissed. "Their technology is centuries beyond what we detected. How do they hide this?" "Commander," Zix called out, mandibles trembling. "I'm detecting massive energy signatures activating worldwide. They have quantum weaponry, dimensional generators, gravity manipulators, all perfectly camouflaged until now." Humanity had anticipated first contact for decades, preparing in secret while maintaining a carefully crafted facade of technological immaturity. Now that deception was no longer needed. "Send the message," General Williams ordered. Sarah nodded, transmitting their response to the Vizari fleet. "Attention invading forces," the transmission began, translated into all known alien languages. "You have violated Earth's sovereign space and demonstrated hostile intent. We gave you the chance to approach peacefully. Instead, you chose aggression. This was your first and final mistake." Across Earth, massive defense platforms emerged from underground bunkers and underwater bases. Orbital weapons satellites shed their disguises as common communications relays. And in high orbit, Earth's real fleet decloaked. Hundreds of advanced warships that had been hiding in plain sight. "Get us out of here," Nexar commanded, but it was too late. The quantum shield had trapped them inside. The Vizari Empire's most powerful invasion fleet was about to learn why humanity had survived countless extinction events and evolved to become the apex predator of their world. The battle that followed would reshape the galaxy's balance of power forever. Humanity had prepared for this moment for generations, and they intended to make it count. The age of Earth hiding its true capabilities was over. As General Williams watched the first salvos of quantum torpedoes streak toward the alien fleet, he allowed himself a small smile. "Welcome to Earth," he muttered. "I hope you enjoy your stay." The quantum shield surrounding Earth pulsed with energy as the Vizari fleet frantically tried to break free. Supreme Commander Nexar watched in horror as Earth's defense platforms systematically dismantled her supposedly superior forces. Each human weapon demonstrated technological mastery that should have been impossible for such a young species. "Shields failing on decks 3 through 7, reported her tactical officer. "Their quantum torpedoes are phasing straight through our crystalline armor." In the Himalayan command center, Dr. Sarah Chen monitored the shield's stability while General Williams coordinated the global defense network. Shield integrity at 98%, she announced. Their weapons can't even scratch it. Excellent, Williams replied. Begin Phase 2. He activated the global command channel. All defense platforms. Initiate targeting protocols. Selected strikes only. We want prisoners, not martyrs. Earth's orbital weapons platforms locked onto the Visory ships with surgical precision, disabling their engines and weapons while leaving life support intact. The few vessels that attempted to self-destruct found their quantum cores safely contained by localized stasis fields. Nexar slammed her clawed hand against her command console. How did they hide all this? She turned to First Scholar Zix. Your reconnaissance was completely wrong. Zix trembled. Commander, they fooled our most sophisticated scanners. They must have been preparing for first contact for decades, maybe centuries. Their entire civilization is built on layers of deception. On Earth's surface, humanity's true technological achievements began revealing themselves. Massive arcology complexes emerged from their camouflaged states. Quantum power plants shed their disguises as mundane industrial facilities. And in every major city, advanced defense systems activated, ready to repel any attempted planetary invasion. Commander, Sarah called out, we're detecting unusual energy signatures from their flagship. They're trying to send a distress signal through subspace. Williams nodded. Let them. It's time the galaxy learned the truth about Earth. In orbit, the Eternal Dawn's desperate transmission pierced the quantum shield, broadcasting on all frequencies. This is Supreme Commander Nexar. Earth is not primitive. They possess technology equal or superior to our own. Request immediate reinforcements. The Empire must not. The transmission cut off as precise strikes disabled the flagship's remaining systems. Within hours, the entire Visory fleet had been neutralized, their crews contained in comfortable but secure holding facilities. General Williams stood before the United Earth Council, delivering his report on humanity's first major interstellar victory. The invasion force has been completely neutralized with minimal casualties on either side. Our quantum shield technology proved even more effective than simulations predicted. Council President Helena Rodriguez leaned forward. And the prisoners? Cooperative, once they realized the extent of our capabilities. They're proving to be valuable sources of intelligence about the Empire's structure and weaknesses. Excellent. Rodriguez smiled grimly. Then it's time for Phase 3. The Visory Empire thought they found an easy conquest. Instead, they've awakened a sleeping giant. Humanity will no longer hide in the shadows. In her holding cell, Nexar received a visitor, Dr. Chen, carrying a data tablet. Why? The Visory commander asked. Why maintain such an elaborate deception? Sarah's expression remained neutral. Because we studied your empire's history. You subjugate any civilization you consider inferior, but you're cautious around equals. So we gave you exactly what you expected to see. Until it was too late. She activated the tablet, showing Nexar images that made the alien commander's compound eyes widen in shock. Earth warships were already launching, carrying humanity's advanced technology and newfound determination to the stars. The galaxy was about to change forever, and the Visory Empire had no one to blame but themselves. They had sought to conquer Earth. Instead, they had given humanity the perfect excuse to emerge onto the galactic stage at full strength. Operation Thunderbolt began 3 days after Earth's victory over the Visory invasion fleet. The United Earth Defense Force launched its first strike into Empire space, led by the quantum dreadnought Humanity's Dawn. Captain Maya Patel stood on the bridge, watching as her fleet emerged from quantum space near the Empire's primary shipyard at Nexus 7. Status report, she commanded, her voice steady despite the historic nature of their mission. Quantum signatures masked, stealth systems engage, her XO reported. The Empire still hasn't detected our technological capabilities. They're blind to our approach. Earth had learned everything about Visari defense systems from their captured invasion fleet. Now those lessons would prove devastating. The human fleet approached Nexus 7 completely undetected, their quantum-shifted hulls invisible to Imperial sensors. In the shipyard's control center, Overseer Kralvik supervised the construction of replacement vessels for their lost invasion fleet. His first warning came when human quantum torpedoes phased through the shipyard's shields, precisely targeting key structural points. Multiple explosions in construction bays 1 through 15. An operator screamed. Enemy fleet detected. It's the humans. Kralvik's mandibles clicked in panic. Impossible. They can't have reached us already. They're primitives. The same primitives who destroyed our invasion force, another officer reminded him, raising emergency shields. But the shields proved useless against Earth's phase-shifted weapons. Captain Patel's fleet methodically disabled the shipyard's defenses while avoiding civilian areas. Precision strikes severed quantum power conduits and disabled weapon emplacements. Back on Earth, General Williams and Dr. Chen monitored the operation from Project Aegis. Phase 1 complete, Sarah reported. The shipyard is neutralized. Minimal casualties, maximum strategic impact. Williams nodded. Begin Phase 2. Deploy the quantum beacons. Throughout the shipyard, small devices materialized from quantum space, each activated simultaneously, generating a localized field that prevented quantum travel. The Visari's fastest ships were now trapped in normal space, unable to warn the Empire's capital. Captain Patel opened a channel to the shipyard. Attention Nexus 7 Command. Your facility is under our control. Surrender now and your people will be treated fairly. Resist, and we will be forced to demonstrate more of humanity's capabilities. In the Empire's capital, the High Council received garbled distress calls from Nexus 7. Supreme Overlord Zextil clicked his mandibles in fury as he realized the humans had outmaneuvered them completely. They were never primitives, he hissed. They deceived us, waited for us to strike first, and now they have the moral and tactical advantage. His advisors chittered nervously. The other subjugated species are watching. One warned, if Earth succeeds in challenging us, then we crush them with overwhelming force. Zextil declared, recall the home fleet. We will make an example of these humans. But aboard humanity's Dawn, Captain Patel smiled as she received confirmation of multiple quantum beacon deployments. The Empire's response was exactly what Earth had predicted. Their trap was nearly complete. Send word to General Williams, she ordered. Operation Thunderbolt Phase 2 is successful. The Empire took the bait. In the Himalayan Command Center, Williams allowed himself a grim smile. Excellent. Prepare Phase 3. It's time to show the galaxy that humanity isn't just fighting for Earth, we're fighting for freedom. Throughout conquered Imperial space, quantum beacons continued appearing near strategic targets. Each one carried a message, broadcasting on frequencies the Empire couldn't block. To all species suffering under Visari rule, humanity stands with you. The time for revolution has come. The Centauri, a species enslaved by the Visari for 3 centuries, watched in awe as human quantum ships materialized above their homeworld. Their crystalline bodies shimmered with hope as Earth's fleet systematically disabled the Imperial garrison without a single civilian casualty. Ambassador Sarah Chen stood before the Centauri High Council, her quantum translator converting her words into pulses of light they could understand. Earth extends its hand in alliance. Together, we can end Visari dominion. First Light, the Centauri Council leader, pulsed with curious patterns. You possess technology that rivals the Empire, yet you offer partnership instead of conquest. Why? Because humanity remembers its own history, Sarah replied. We've seen the cost of imperialism. We aim to break chains, not forge new ones. Across Visari space, similar scenes played out. The Calderans, master engineers kept as technical slaves, eagerly shared their advanced propulsion designs. The telepathic Nexari provided crucial intelligence about Imperial fleet movements. Each liberated species brought unique strengths to the growing alliance. On the humanity's dawn, Captain Patel coordinated with her new alien allies. Her tactical display showed hundreds of liberation operations happening simultaneously across the Empire. The Vizari never imagined their subjects would unite against them, she observed. They believed division was strength, her Calderon chief engineer replied, his metallic scales gleaming. They never understood that diversity, freely given, creates something far more powerful. The Empire's response was predictable and brutal. Supreme Overlord Zextil ordered the extermination of any species that joined Earth's alliance, but his empire-wide strike found only empty worlds. Humanity's quantum transportation technology had evacuated entire populations to safety. In Project Aegis, General Williams reviewed reports with his multinational and multi-species staff. The Empire has committed 90% of its fleet to crushing our alliance, he noted, exactly as predicted. Annexary tacticians' thoughts rippled through the quantum network. Their arrogance blinds them. They cannot conceive of defeat, so they seek decisive battle. Then we give them what they want, Williams replied, on our terms. The Alliance fleet gathered in secret, combining Earth's quantum technology with Calderon engines, Centauri power systems, and Nexari tactical coordination. Ships of different species flew together, their crews working in harmony, a sight unprecedented in galactic history. Aboard the Eternal Unity, the Alliance's flagship, Captain Patel stood with commanders from a dozen species. The Empire believes they face only human interference, she said. They're about to learn that freedom, once sparked, spreads like wildfire. The Vizari home fleet, 10,000 ships strong, moved to crush what they thought was Earth's main force. Instead, they found themselves surrounded as Alliance vessels decloaked all around them. Quantum beacons activated, trapping them in normal space. Your empire ends today. The Alliance broadcast on all frequencies, but your people need not fall with it. Surrender and help us build something better. Across imperial space, subjugated worlds erupted in synchronized rebellion. Centuries of oppression had created an invisible network of resistance, now activated by Earth's example and support. In the Himalayan Command Center, Sarah Chen watched the upheaval with mixed emotions. We've changed the galaxy forever, she said quietly. We gave them hope. Williams corrected. They're changing it themselves. The final battle for galactic freedom was about to begin, and humanity had transformed from primitive targets into the catalyst for revolution. The Vizari Empire's home fleet faced its greatest nightmare, not just Earth's advanced technology, but a united front of every species they had ever oppressed. Supreme Overlord Zextil watched from his command fortress as quantum-shifted Alliance ships systematically dismantled his supposedly invincible armada. Impossible, he chittered. We ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. We cannot fall to mere primitives. Those primitives outsmarted us at every turn, his advisor responded. And now they've given our subjects the one thing we never could defeat, hope. The Alliance fleet moved with devastating precision. Earth's quantum weapons combined with Calderon targeting systems and Centauri power matrices created an unstoppable force. The Vizari's crystalline ships shattered one by one, their crews given chances to surrender before each strike. Captain Maya Patil coordinated the assault from humanity's dawn, working seamlessly with her multi-species bridge crew. Status of evacuation efforts. She asked her Nexari tactical officer. Civilian populations are being moved to safety via quantum corridors. The Empire's leadership is isolated in their fortress. The massive Imperial command structure floated above the Vizari homeworld, its defenses still formidable. But humanity had planned for this moment. Dr. Sarah Chen's voice came through the quantum network from Project Aegis. Quantum beacon network is ready. Beginning final phase. Thousands of quantum beacons activated simultaneously, creating a complex web of localized space-time distortions. The Imperial fortress found itself cut off from its power sources, its weapons rendered useless, its escape routes blocked. General Williams opened a channel to Zextil. Your empire is finished. Your fleet is destroyed or surrendered. Your subjected worlds are free. End this now, and your people can join our alliance as equals. Zextil's response was a barrage of experimental weapons, which passed harmlessly through the Alliance ship's quantum-shifted hulls. The return fire was precise and devastating, carving away the fortress's outer defenses layer by layer. They still don't understand, Sarah observed from Earth. They can't comprehend an empire built on cooperation instead of control. Williams nodded. Then we'll teach them. Sometimes the hardest part of freedom is learning to trust it. The fortress's inner sanctum finally breached. Alliance forces led by human quantum commandos secured the Imperial leadership. Zextil, found cowering in his throne room, faced Captain Patil and representatives from every species his empire had oppressed. How? He demanded. How did primitives achieve all this? Because we remembered what you forgot, Patil replied. True strength comes from unity freely chosen, not dominance forcefully imposed. Earth didn't conquer your subjects. We simply showed them they could be more. Across the galaxy, former Imperial worlds celebrated their liberation. The Alliance's quantum network broadcast scenes of freedom to every planet. Vizeri garrison troops surrendering, enslaved species reclaiming their homeworlds, and ships of all designs flying together under a new banner. In the Himalayan Command Center, Sarah Chen watched the celebrations with quiet pride. We did it, she said. We actually changed the galaxy. No, Williams corrected, gesturing to the screen showing dozens of species working together. We just gave them the chance. They changed it themselves. And now the real work begins. The Alliance Council convened on Earth, representatives from formerly subjugated species joining humans as equals. Their first act was to establish the Galactic Concordat, a declaration that no species would ever again be allowed to dominate another. Humanity had emerged from isolation not as conquerors, but as liberators. They had proven that deception could serve justice, that technology should empower rather than enslave, and that the strongest force in the universe was the desire for freedom. As the sun set over the Himalayas, Sarah Chen looked up at the stars, no longer distant and mysterious, but filled with allies and friends. Earth's long preparation had paid off in ways no one could have imagined. They had not just survived first contact, they had transformed it into first revolution.